Okay, I hope you watched part one. This is part two. As I was saying at the end of it, it's weird when you do the math. If you allow 300 days a year to listen to, say, one album a day, and you make it a point that you're going to listen to it, and you rotate your collection and make sure you don't repeat any albums, and you're only going to live, say, another 25 years, you're only going to be able to listen to your collection one time if you have, say, 7,000, 7,500 records in there. That's not a lot. So how do I deal with this? Well, I try not to get obsessive about it. I try not to worry about it. But it's gotten to the point where I don't really care anymore. I mean, I have a great girlfriend who helped me realize this, because she's similar to me in some ways with collecting and things. You know, the joy is just to have it. I mean, take a look over here. I mean, you're talking about these records here, right? This is not my whole collection. This is only a 1/4 of what I have. Most of it's in the other room, scattered all over the place, which is a whole nother topic for another video. But I got joy the last couple of nights watching TV, and I sleeved all of these in the clear plastic sleeves with the flap. I had them in the standard top loaders, but I decided I'm going to put them in with the flaps, resealable flaps on the side. So I had a ball just watching TV and looking up every once in a while and sealing an album and cleaning it and putting it. And to me, that's the joy. I like the thrill of the hunt. I like to clean the records, collect them. So it doesn't matter to me. I mean, just yesterday, if you saw, I made an Elvis Presley update video where I took out, I don't know, 50 or 60 records. And by the way, anybody who saw that video, I overlooked 5 or so records that I forgot to put in the video that I own. But anyway, and just holding the Elvis albums in my hand, looking at all the artwork, flipping past the covers, that gives me joy right there. And that's part of it. To me, I enjoy listening to the music. I want to make that clear. I do need to devote more time to getting more of these records and others on, but definitely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, it's also going to buy them, to find them, to fill a hole in. If you have a collection of a certain artist and you find a really nice quality album and stick it in the hole where you missed having one of their records, that's every much as part of the fun. If I have, you know, 1,000 Beatle albums someday, and I just wind up playing only 500 of them, but the other 500 I have, that every once in a while I can flip through the covers and just hold the piece and admire it, that's fine with me. You know, I can't stress that enough. And believe me, I'm as paranoid and anal about this as you, John. You know, when you say, how are we going to have enough time? And, you know, this and that. Over time, I've learned you're just not going to have the time. You just have to accept it and find other things to enjoy about the collection. Just to have it has to be enough. The problem's worse with me with movies, because I'm a movie person, and movies take a lot more effort. To watch a movie can be 90 minutes, 2 hours or more, whatever, depending on the movie. And to sit there, you really have to be awake and really focused and watch that film and concentrate on it. You can't be running around getting the garbage ready, and you can't be running around cooking dinner or washing dishes or whatever you're doing laundry while there's a movie in the background. That doesn't work for me. And since I have about 1,200 plus movies, which is more than I have records, that's an even bigger problem for me than it is trying to manage my music time. What else can we address here? Robert Z said something in this video that and I know what he means. You know, sometimes you'll see videos where people show a cover jacket to an album and it's all beat up, and they say the cover's in lousy condition, but the record's beautiful. And Robert Z says, well, it should be a marriage. I mean, the cover of the album should be beautiful, and the record has to be beautiful. Now, I agree with you, Robert, but there's an obvious thing you forgot. We're not always that fortunate to be able to find records that are beautiful like that. Now, let's suppose, going back to Elvis Presley, if I'm a Elvis Presley collector and I go into a store and I see this pristine record jacket from an old 1958 album, and it's beautiful, it looks like it just came out of the warehouse from 1958, I'll buy it. because the cover's beautiful. Now I take the record out, the record looks like it's beat to crap. But the idea is, at a later date, I'll find a better record maybe in another jacket that the jacket's all torn up, and you mix and match. I'm sure you can appreciate that, Robert, or anybody else watching this, right? I mean, if you're a collector, I mean, sure, it would be great that every time we go out there, we have a mint cover and a mint record. Doesn't always work like that. Although I do agree with you that I don't spend time, or waste my time personally with records that are beat up, unless it's really rare. I'm not. If I go out and I'm looking for pick a common album. If I'm looking to get Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album, and I see that there's a copy with drawing on it or ring wear all over it, I'm gonna pass on that. It's no point in owning it, because I'll just wait till I get a better copy. And an album like Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, you're gonna find a better copy down the line. You know, it's not hard to find. But again, it also depends where you live. I mean, there's some people that don't have access to a lot of record stores or a lot of flea markets and things, and they got to take what they can get. What else can we talk about here? Just give me a second here. John wanted to know if I feel guilty not listening to my collection, and sometimes, I don't know if guilty is the word. I do feel sometimes, wow, time's running out and I haven't played enough records. And I'm going to make, you just have to make more of an effort. And I have at times, and I will continue to do that. But I try not to feel guilty. You know, just having them and owning them, looking at them like you would look like at a stamp collection or a collection of fine art, and sometimes can be rewarding enough, you know, if you can't play everything. Oh, another question that somebody brought up, I don't know if it was Robert, said, did you collect for value? I never collect for value. I don't buy something because I think it's going to be worth money in the future. I don't give a damn about the money. I collect for personal enjoyment and personal fulfillment. John asked to show 3 albums that I haven't listened to in ages. John, I don't have to show you 3 albums. Just look at these. Out of these albums just here, I probably played 10 of them. You know, so I've only been collecting vinyl again for 3 years, so it takes some time. The last thing I wanted to address is about gathering again, which when Robert said about gathering. Here's an album by Maxine Nightingale called Right Back Where We Started From. It was one of my favorite songs when I was in school, going into high school, and in my yearbook I wrote Right Back Where We Started From was my favorite song. I found this album in Goodwill for $1. It's got the cutout bin thing here, unfortunately. But I bought it because it was $1. Am I ever going to play this whole album? Hell no. But I like the cover, I like the colors, and I thought this would be a nice piece to have as a piece of art. And I will play the hit song. Maybe I'll even play the whole album once in a while. And things like that, I got to say, I'm guilty of doing. Here's Pat Cooper, a comedy album, Spaghetti Sauce and Other Delights. Will I ever play it? Maybe not, but it's a funny cover. I wanted to have it for $1. So I'm guilty of the gathering too. Thanks.